I think everybody out there is going to find happiness in a different way.
Hello and welcome. Andy Frisella is an entrepreneur, best-selling author, highly sought-after consultant, and public speaker. He is the industry-leading expert at customer loyalty, creating fanatical culture, and building brick-and-mortar and online direct-to-consumer retail businesses. On his popular podcast, Real AF with Andy Frisella, he and his guests discuss, debate, and laugh their way through trending topics. 17 years ago, Andy Frisella and his best friend Chris opened their first supplement store in Springfield, Missouri. On their first day in business, they made $7. It took 8 months to have a day over $200, and it took 7 more years to earn more than $695 in a month. And today, Andy's empire of businesses do over $100 million in sales a year.
They get taught this thing up until they're 20 years old, and then they're kicked out in the real world, and then what happens?
If your goals don't demand that you raise your level of greatness, they aren't big enough. Remember that you are the measure of your own success. Your goal should require you to up your game, develop as a person, and push your limits. Ultimately, that's what the purpose of every goal is. For you to develop as a person. State the goal in a way that emphasizes the process as much as the results. Goal setting is all about focusing on what you can control. What you can control is the process. It's possible that you can attack the process and still not achieve your goal. For the most part, if you attack the process, you will achieve the goal, period. You have to trust that. Your biggest obstacles to success are your own excuses. You are the greatest threat to your success. Your excuses are the greatest obstacles to your achievement. You have to win the battle of mind in order to hit your goals. When you encounter yourself making an excuse, you have to actively take control of your thought process and auto-correct your negativity. It has to be done again and again and again until it's a habit. Failing a huge goal will always be more profitable than hitting a small one.
That is the best thing to do, or whether or not somebody else has the best thing to do.
Situation where I was able to experience a lot of things. I was able to see what it was like to be very poor. I was able to observe what it took to become wealthy, and I was able to observe what happens when you don't keep your eye on the ball. A 9-figure company go to a 0-figure company within a matter of 18 months. I wanted to be rich, and I said I was looking for all these things of how to, become wealthy. And so me and Chris were like, hey, let's start selling vitamins. We both like to work out. It seemed like it made sense. We decided we were going to start a business. So we had 12 grand. Nobody would rent to us because we were just kids. We had no credit. So we had to pay our year's rent up front, which was $1,000 a month. So that took up all our capital. So to finance the build out and then to finance the inventory, we ran it up on credit cards. The younger generation, a lot of the people watching right now are not taught the truth. They're taught that everybody wins, everybody's special, everybody, is probably gonna end up being a multimillionaire. They get taught this thing up until they're 20 years old, and then they're kicked out in the real world. And then what happens? The real world stomps them.
First of all, I think it's different for everybody. I think everybody out there is going to find happiness in a different way. And I think there's, we're plagued in society right now with a lot of quote unquote experts that seem to think that they have the answer for everyone. I don't believe that's the case. I believe that discovering happiness is really kind of the point of existing almost, figuring out how to make yourself happy. And, I was that person, when I was younger who, once I get to here, I'll be happy. Or once I have this, I'll be happy. Or once I'm in this shape, I'll be happy. And none of those things ever really made me happy at all. And I think a lot of people, we see a lot of successful people self-destruct. And I believe the reason we see that is because they haven't figured out that it's not about this or that or this thing. It's not this achievement or this material thing. I love those things. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying they don't serve a great purpose, but I believe they are not the end all be all to happiness. And I think it's hard to figure out what is going to make you happy until you've actually accomplished the things that you think are going to make you happy, and then realize that those aren't the things that make you happy. You don't know everything, all right? Let's just get it right out there on the table. I meet so many young entrepreneurs. They think they know everything. They want to know everything. They want to be the best at everything inside their company. And guys, that's just not reality, okay? You have to understand, winning in business is not about you personally as the CEO of a company being the best at every skill set. Dude, I can't put together graphics. I can't put together videos. there's certain things in my company that I have no clue on how to do, but that's okay. You know what my job is? My job is to go out and find people that can do that far better than myself so that we can win as a team. And this attitude of I've got to be the best and I've got to win and I've got to, you know, and I'm the best at everything and I know more than you and blah, 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 blah. That makes horrible leadership. Nobody respects that. Let me tell you what people do respect. What do you think? And then they give you an answer, and then it's your job to decide whether or not on an honest playing field, whether or not that is the best thing to do or whether or not somebody else has the best thing to do.
Basically, we make the most premium sports nutrition products in the world. It's an entrepreneurship podcast based around self-help, entrepreneurship, motivation, kind of mixing that all in together with a big dose of swagger. I hired Vaughn to help ghostwrite some books for me. He was interviewing me for the books. I would go off on these tangents and it was always getting videotaped, and I would post them on Instagram. I started my first retail store in '99 with $12,000 that I got from painting the stripes on parking lots with my business partner. And the first day we opened up, sold $7. You know, second day we sold $0. Third day we sold $23. You know, it took us a long time, 8 months to have a day over $200. It took us 6 years to get our second store open.
Wow.
Now we've got 17 stores, and then we have, in 2009 we started First Form, which is the company that most people know us by, to manufacturing our own products, to contract manufacturing, to distribution, to selling the goods in our own stores. Right now about 120 people. We've got close to 150 million in revenue right now. You know, I want to make it now and I want to do it now. You know, that's really indicative of if you're a true entrepreneur or not, because true entrepreneurs love the process. They love the creation part of it. They love building things, and it's not just about the money. It's about what you're creating and what you're solving and what you're serving.